Make America great again. Let's do it.
Now, if you have no clue who this person is, just know. That woman is Brittany Mahomes' mother-in-law.
Well, I actually like Mrs. I actually like Mrs. Mahomes much better, if you want to know the truth. She's a big Trump fan. I was not a Taylor Swift fan. It was just a question of time. She couldn't. You couldn't possibly endorse Biden. You look at Biden, you couldn't possibly endorse him. But she's a very liberal person. She seems to always endorse a Democrat, and she'll probably pay a price for it at the in the marketplace. But no, I like Brittany. I think Brittany's great. Brittany was got a lot of news last week. She's a big MAGA fan. That's the one I like much better than Taylor Swift.
A person this despicable doofus gave the stamp of approval to after she liked an Instagram post of Donald Trump's vision if reelected.
Former President Trump referenced you and your family again today on Fox News in relation to his campaign. I just wonder what your reaction is to seeing that.
Yeah, I think I've always said I don't want my place and my platform to be used to endorse a candidate or do whatever. Either way, I think my place is to inform people to get registered to vote. It's to inform people to do their own research and then make their best decision for them and their family. And so I think that's every time I'm on this stage and I get asked these questions, I'm going to refer back to that because I think that's what makes America so great.
And while this dude does not want to tip his hand, it's becoming abundantly clear, at the very least, how his family feels about the two presidential candidates. Nonetheless, Randy Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' mother has quite a history, as you probably thought of already. For that, we go back to 2020, all right, when Joe Biden defeated incumbent Donald Trump. Watching the news pour in, Randy wrote, "Y'all watching the series finale of the United States tonight?" We're still here, right? Okay. So she would also write, "Hey, all gas is $1.52. Get it while you can." Where are these gas prices? Someone please tell me. $1.52? I feel like I haven't seen $1.52 since I got my driver's license. $1.52. All right. By the way, if you have seen this recently, like, hit me in the comments. I'm really curious where these gas prices are. Anyways, $1.52. Get it while you can. Won't be like this long. You are welcome to delete me. I'm trying to get my numbers down of idiots. So if it sounds like you disagree with her, you're an idiot. But let's also be very clear, because she is saying that the president controls gas prices. Proceed.
For fact's sake, the president of the United States has virtually no direct input into the price of gas. First off, there's a multinational infrastructure that controls the price of gasoline, which is simply crude oil that has been refined into petroleum. A major fixture in that infrastructure is the group OPEC, which stands for the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. It's described as an intergovernmental organization controlling most of the world's oil supply. It's basically an anti-competitive cartel. OPEC's influence on the market has been widely criticized for inflating prices to the benefit of its members. To help offset high prices, some countries like Venezuela and Iran subsidize the price of gasoline, making it cheaper for consumers at gas stations. The United States isn't one of those countries. Instead, the U.S. levies a federal tax on gasoline, 18.4 cents per gallon. That tax pays for things like federal highway maintenance.
Now that we have that out of the way, there was also this liked tweet from Randy Mahomes, which read, "So scary how this election is going. It's totally rigged." All right. Few things to unpack here. Number one, it was not rigged. Every single expert has said it was the safest election. Second, I also remember Elon Musk removing how people can see on Twitter, because we don't call it in here, how one user can see another user's liked tweets. And it's so obvious why he did it. It's because he doesn't want people to see his like tweets. And I remember one actually went viral where he liked something that was, surprise, super freaking racist. And the person actually tweeted out the notification of like, oh my God, Elon moved to great. And so it's very obvious. But going back in time when we could see people's like tweets, because those were almost as important as tweeting something. She liked a tweet saying that the election was rigged, which goes to show you how far down the rabbit hole she is. On top of this, Randy Mahomes, a woman, keep that in mind, tweeted amen above a video where Harrison Butker doubled down on women essentially being second-class citizens, preferring them to be homemakers, stay in the kitchen. Yeah, go get a job, but I don't think it's for you. You can have a career, but not good. You know what's the problem? The woke DEI-ness of America. And also, by the way, did you know that the best way to go forward is to limit how women operate their bodies? What a terrible practice IVF is and abortion. I think those things are terrible. Bro. So she tweeted amen above that. Great. After liking Trump's Instagram photo and getting backlash, Mrs. Mahomes wrote in response, this is Brittany Mahomes. I mean, honestly, to be a hater as an adult, you have to have some deep-rooted issues you refuse to heal from childhood. There's no reason your brain is fully developed and you hate to see others doing well. Again, wow, missing the mark here. So basically, Donald Trump put out this plan of like, I'm going to do all this stuff that's really terrible if I take the presidency. And Brittany Mahomes was like, bet, love it. And she decided, in my opinion, to deflect and possibly serve, in a way, projection of her saying, y'all have deep-rooted issues, all right? I'm not the one who's crazy. You're crazy. There's no reason your brain is fully developed and you hate to see others doing well. It was not about others doing well, okay? For the people in the back, it was for people taking a stance against that man and what he stands for. It is not about how many zeros you have in your bank account. It's not. Do I think y'all should be taxed? Yeah, I do. I do. In some really no time, there'll be billionaires. Tax the hell out of them. Tax the hell out of every single billionaire. But it is not about doing well. It is about putting others down and preventing them from doing well. That you are endorsing with that, which, by the way, runs very counter to this.
This was just posted online by a woman you might have heard of whose name is Taylor Swift. And she has posted this online along with a photo of her cat. Like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. If you haven't already, now is a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances these candidates take on the topics that matter to you the most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about their proposed policies and plans for this country. Recently, I was made aware that AI of me, quote me, falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run was posted to his site. It really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. It brought me to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. The simplest way to combat misinformation is with the truth. Then she says, quote, I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election. I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. I think she is a steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we're led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ plus rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. I've done my research, and I've made my choice. Your research is all yours to do, and the choice is yours to make. I also want to say, especially to first-time voters, remember that in order to vote, you have to be registered. I also find it's much easier to vote early. I will link where to register and find early voting dates and info in my story. With love and hope, Taylor Swift, signed Childless Cat Lady.
So where do you stand and how do you feel about it? Meet me in the comments. We'll discuss there. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. and or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.